Hey, welcome to World Cinema Reviews. This is your host Frank the Vamp, and tonight I'm doing a very special deal, very special 80's movies showdown review. And this is for my great friend Grumpy Andrew from the UK. He's fantastic. Please subscribe to him. He is incredible. His videos are so awesome, and he's just planning an 80's vampire month. Just gonna blow everyone out of the water. Subscribe to the dude. He asked me if I could do. Well, he didn't really ask me, but he mentioned it that wouldn't that be cool to face both of the best werewolf movies maybe not just the 1980s, maybe of all time. The Howling versus An American Werewolf in London. And at first, I was kind of rattled because I said, hey, this is gonna be really hard because those are two fantastic movies. And in fact, let me start by apologizing because I have only reviewed An American Werewolf in London in my channel. I'll try to put the link down below, so if you guys want to check that out. But I have never reviewed The Howling yet, so I'm gonna do that later. Down the line, I'm gonna make sure I cover it because they're both fantastic films. They're both scary. They're both funny. They're both awesome. They're both incredible, and this is gonna make my life a really, really hard job. So if you've never seen 80's, 80's movie showdown, it's when I take two movies and we basically compare the shit out of them with using crazy categories to see what movie comes out on top. And I hope you guys have a lot of fun. Before I start, gotta show I'm wearing my special werewolf t-shirt because it rocks, man. Also, it's really a wolf, but I really like it, so I'm really paying homage here to two films that I actually really like. So without further ado, we're going to start the match. So, The Howling, made in 1981, directed by Joe Dante, starring the beautiful Dee Wallace, the incredibly clever Patrick Macnee, and the very creepy Robert Picardo, versus American Werewolf in London, directed by the one and only John Landis, and written by the way, starring the awesome David Naughton, the very creepy Griffin Dunn, and the beautiful Lenny Agatar. So the first category always tackle is best story. So let's talk about it. And oh yeah, there's spoilers. You've been warned. So, An American Werewolf in London. David and Jack are two American students that are being very happy backpacking in the UK. They're going through Yorkshire moors, and it's getting late, so they decide to go into this local pub called the Slaughter Lamb. And after finding out that the locals are not very friendly to them, they made a indiscretion there that pretty much gets them kicked out of the pub. They're told to beware the moon lads, and told them to stay on the path. They come out in the moonlight there to get to the next town. However, the lonely, very creepy walk by themselves gets even creepier when they hear creature noises, turning out that a werewolf is chasing after them, successfully killing Jack and wounding David. And when David is about to meet his doom, the people from the pub actually come out to his aid, kill the werewolf, which then becomes a man after he gets killed. And that's the last memory that David can see. Then he wakes up in a London hospital where he's attended by this beautiful nurse. But he's having weird thoughts and memories. He thinks, hey, I've been attacked by a giant creature. The police say, no, you might be mistaken. It was just a lunatic that was attacking you and kill your friend, but you're okay. Um, and then he starts having visions of his dead friend Jack, where he tries to pretty much tell him that, hey, you know what, you've really been bitten by a werewolf, and because I'm dead here and I'm dead now, and if you don't kill yourself, you're gonna start killing more and more people, and you're cursed, type of thing. Lovely. Now we go to the Howling. Um, Stay with me here. It's a little bit more out there here. So this reporter, cooperates with the police to trap this madman, killer, rapist, horrible person, and she manages to lure him into a porn theater where he begins to show her these pornographic films, about rape and stuff, and he begins to get close to her, and right before he can do anything to her, the police gets him. But she gets traumatized, and on the advice of her doctor, gets sent to this colony that turns out to be for people who have gone through traumatic experiences, more like werewolf experiences. And after one of the women that is a werewolf starts hitting on her husband and doesn't succeed, but then the dude gets bit by a werewolf, and then they have werewolf sex. And believe it or not, it actually gets weirder from there. So, what's the better story here? Definitely, I we can look at it these 2 points of view. Okay, John Landis' story is just it channels a lot of the of 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 what the werewolf is. Of this curse of the going back to the 1930s and 40s, where Lon Chaney Jr. was this cursed individual, which is pretty much doomed from the very start. And it's a very classic story retold in a very clever way, with dream sequences and monsters. Unbelievably great. However, the Howling, um, I mean, remember those times where we have Jim Jones, I'm sorry, the tragedy, and where we have gatherings of people that were not, out there in the woods and were doing weird things, and that kind of brings up weird vibe. Also, the therapy of trying to actually, you know, help werewolves, actually, get a grip and control themselves. And the thing is so out there, and with the weird killer trauma, it's just so amazingly weird, and it works for me. So even though I have loved the story from An American Werewolf in London, all ever since I saw it for the first time, I'm definitely going to give the point to the Howling. So the Howling takes the first point. So we move to the next category, which is going to be creature design. We're not going to do skin factor for this one because there's plenty of skin in both films. So it's kind of weird to tell which ones has more TNA or who shows what. See, there's a lot of implicit material here. Explicit, I'm sorry, material. So I thought that it would be more interesting to find out what was the better werewolf transformation, the best makeup, the best effects. The Howling has, when the killer transforms into the werewolf, and then the acid, that's fantastic. That's one of the most fantastic things I've ever seen. I mean the that's all practical effects, no CG. You can see that the pulsating things on the face. I mean, it's just so real, and then the acid too. It's just unbelievably great. And that's one of the many transformations that happen in this film. It's really, I mean, it's really great. It's really awesome. I can't say that I haven't seen anything better until you compare it to An American Werewolf in London. David scene, naked there on, try screaming in pain. You can see the pain. You can his limbs going longer. The his actual body changing. Every little thing is perfect. I mean, if if this was a real transformation, I mean, this will be. I mean, this is as close to real as it can get. I'm sorry, I love the Howling, but the effect, is just too good, too great. An American Werewolf in London gets the point. So 1-1. Funniest moment. Um, they're both. These both films have definitely. They're sort of dark comedies in a lot of ways. The Howling has that part at the end where she's when our heroine she's turning into a wolf right on TV, and that's not the funny part. The funny part is the reaction that everybody has. Everybody's like, "Oh, this is just bullshit. This is just practical. This is special effects. You know how crazy it is." And also the uh, that and the kids are watching. So what are you guys watching? The news. You know, there's a lady that turned into a werewolf, and it's just hilarious to me. So definitely, I like that moment from The Howling. Now, and an American Werewolf in London is definitely in Piccadilly Circus, the porn theater. I mean, it's so creepy that there's a bunch of corpses talking to David, right? But it's all going on when hardcore pornography is going on in the background, and it's just killing me. I was laughing out loud. It's so funny. Definitely an American Werewolf in London gets that point. So takes the lead 2-1. So we go to Coolest Kill. And this is like really, really tough here. Because Coolest Kill, I mean, these two are full of good kills. Definitely, I like the Howling where so many. I like the acid throw into the guy. I like the. I also like the one where when they attack the colony and the silver bullets and the fire, how to kill the werewolf. That's pretty cool. However, I still love American Werewolf in London, where the very first attack and the killing the attack of David and Jack and it's just fantastic. I mean, the vibe is so creepy. I still remember when David falls down and Jack just reaches and it's just amazing. It's just an amazing set, shot. I mean, you just can't get any better than that. So even though it's close, I definitely gonna give the point to An American Werewolf in London. So 3-1. So we're going to go to our next category, which is going to be scare factor. So we need, a scare factor is, I mean, being awesome as I always say that the An American Werewolf in London is one of the is incredible and it has a great balance between um, you know just being really scary. I love everything of it. I like the demonic face it makes in the hospital. That's very scary. But the Howling, they're just the one that really wins the scare factor is actually a known werewolf scene in the very beginning. The at the porn theater, that was unbelievable, creepy. Robert Picardo, I mean, he portrays that killer, that sexual deviant, and it is so creepy that it just creeps the hell out of me. That to me, puts it over the top. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that as far as scariness, that Howling gets the point. So climbing back 3-2. So fan factor the Howling needs this to firm to force the tiebreaker. So as far as fan factor, um, we have an American Werewolf in London. It's really fun. It's really funny. It's a dark comedy of sorts. But the Howling just that's so it's just so fun because it's just so many things going on. I mean, just you just got it's just much more of a light pace film that because we know at the end an American Wolf in London it's a very tragic tale. It's like I said, it's the Talbot tale. It's from the 1930s and 40s. The tragedy, the curse, one must be sacrificed. No matter what, even though he's pure of heart, he's still gonna become the werewolf, and he's still gotta die. So I really do, think that the Howling is just a little tiny, tiny, tiny bit more lighthearted, and I definitely will say that as far as fan goes, the Howling ties it up. So the Howling gets the point. So we go to the tiebreaker, and the tiebreaker it basically goes to one thing to me: Piccadilly Circus. That scene, the Howling couldn't do is just the scene that just makes it all over the top. David, full werewolf, goes out, starts killing people right in Piccadilly Circus, and that with the so iconic London with the two-story bus and just so many cool things. It's just and let's just face it, even though we're doing this for fun, an American Werewolf in London is the best, absolutely best of all time werewolf movie, and this movie cannot lose. I'm sorry. An American Werewolf wins it all. Yes, American Werewolf in London. So, before I leave you, I wanted to do a couple of things here. But one thing I really, 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 really pissed me off is the fact that, hey, I'm a vampire. These two are werewolves, and they're making fun of me. I freaking hate werewolves, so I'm a vampire. And vampires can do transformations. So before I leave, I'm going to do one for you. So pay attention. Are you ready? All right. All right, all right, all right. I know it's not exactly a werewolf, but hey, I'm a vampire. We can turn into canines, okay? Yeah, I know. I know you guys must be laughing at me and making fun of me. But hey, I did my transformation. I did my end of the bargain, and I'm still gonna howl. But not just yet. If you like my video, please subscribe. You can leave comments whether you like the video or not. And also want to tell you that I really appreciate all you guys who left me requests. Please leave requests if you guys want to see anything special. And what else I need to say? Well, be blessed, be cool, take care, and remember, beware the moon, lads. Beware the moon. Oh!